What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of LEGO Railway Customs. Today we are talking about a locomotive, a 440 proposed in 1875, canned, never, not really brought out again. This locomotive was a 440 locomotive. The reason for this locomotive's existence is in 1872 through 1874. The LEGO Railway was experiencing a gigantic boom in passenger and freight services, requiring the existing locomotives, which were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 113, to be getting run ragged, run thin, as they were all needed everywhere, but they all couldn't do all of the work, and results for passengers were they were needing more locomotives to run passengers and freight services. Now, the freight locomotive we will discuss in another video, but the passenger locomotive and the freight locomotive were both requested by LEGO Railway in 1873. Drawn up through 1874 and proposed in 1875. However, by then the boom had fallen, and these locomotives were never built. They were canceled, and the plans were put away. With plans even brought out back in 1913, but they never materialized. So this locomotive was stuck in the area of drawing, of paper, never in imagination, never being actually constructed or built. This locomotive is a 440. This locomotive would have had an estimated around 21,586 pounds of tractive effort, which was pretty good for the time. First locomotive on LEGO Railway to be given a cab, built without needing additions. A full cab and with windows and all of this. This locomotive has the same firebox as 2. A different boiler design that I made up on the fly. Outside cylinders, and inside and outside cylinders. 4-4 rearrangement. This locomotive was originally going to be a 240. However, I quickly hated that because it would look so stupid as a 240, so I changed it to be a 440. This locomotive, it was the first locomotive on the LEGO Railway to have a bogie tender. It in project number 4 would have this same exact tender. This locomotive has pretty high top speed, was made to run faster to accelerate the speeds of commuter services and cut down travel times. By this point, 2 and 4 were slow, especially 2 with her very limited tractive effort. This locomotive has, in the cab we got, speedometer, a pressure gauge. This locomotive would have air brakes. Still a manual compression brakes for the locomotive. Handbrake for the tender right there. Some things you can move to do things. Pressure gauges for boiler, throttle, whistle. Johnson bar right there. This locomotive is 690 parts, pretty large engine express. I think that's passenger head code. Yeah, this locomotive, the tender still has this back thing. I wanted to go with orange because I wanted a new color aside from red and blue, which were the main 2 colors I've used so far. Hopefully, we're gonna get into some new colors like maybe yellow next time, but we have blue next time still, and then some other colors. But yeah, we're gonna get into all of this stuff. This locomotive was strictly in the books of fiction, never actually being built. This locomotive, pretty honestly, I do like it. It is pretty cool. Unfortunately, the wider firebox does make it impossible to make the handrail go all the way back, but it's fun. It looks good enough. Cab is pretty detailed. Has the same stuff: 2 domes, steam dome, sand dome. The cylinders are pretty basic because I don't want to make really advanced cylinders for this one because that would just be taking up a lot more space. Which this isn't supposed to be the most advanced design. This isn't like the advanced steam and sail stuff. This is going to be very somewhat primitive, but also good looking locomotive. The inside valve gear is just a feature on pretty much every single LEGO Railway locomotive by this point because a lot of them have it because I've not made inside out valve gear before until pretty much now. But yeah, the bogies, we have the ladders on the side. Locomotive, you could add a bunch of striping here if you wanted to. Pretty good water and coal capacity compared to all of the other engines. Chains to connect the engine and tender. Yeah, pretty nice. Even little smoke thing. The problems I have with designing Lego locos and with front bogies and the outside cylinders with front bogies is that it's really hard to match the smoke box up with the piston with the cylinders. Really hard for me to match that up. I don't know why it's so hard for me, but it's really hard for me to just make this line up because I don't want to like make it so the bogie can't turn, which is a pretty important part. Which is like it's really hard to make it. So basically, mine's just doing some LNER A2 nonsense and just like moving a bunch with like a pipe or something. Because it's really hard to get all of this to work out well. But I do like the design. It is pretty cool. Got magnet coupler at the front, magnet coupler at the back. I honestly think this is a good design. Again, most of my Lego Railway, most of my engines are designed within a day or two of each other. They take up maybe a few days to design. Fun fact: I actually went on a trip to help out my uncle and my grandma with something with my a few other members of my family, and I had just finished the engine and I had started the tender the night before I left. And then the week after I got back, I finished the tender, and it was pretty cool. Then I made 4, finished 5 like yesterday, and then 6 is I started working on today. All of them coming in future episodes eventually. Lego Railway Lore is getting made. But yeah, we'll see how this all goes. We'll make more engines. There will be more engines. There will always be more locomotives. But yeah, let's get to the instructions. Okay, anyways, let's generate these steps. Generate steps. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of steps. Okay, page design. Hang on, step editor. I'm just gonna angle the camera right here, and I'm guessing. Okay, this is the tender pony truck. Yeah, some medium Missouri pieces because those are cheap, and I like medium Missouri. It's nice. I'm gonna like try to. I need to make. I'm gonna try to figure out how to link files. Comment down below if you know how to link files, because I got no clue how to. Okay, let's go to page design. Okay. But yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the final product. It's cool. I wish I could test it and build it IRL. However, I don't want to do that because I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on Legos just to make a video. That would be stupid. Definitely not one of those coming up soon. Foreshadowing. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. It would help me out a lot to make another one of these. I'll probably upload one of these like maybe once a month or something, maybe every other month. I don't know. We'll see how much Lego interest I have. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. Have a fantastic day, and goodbye.